What is up, my friends? Welcome to another video. We're going to be diving into an all Coinbase video. We're going to be talking about two big pieces, some how this affects the transition between the Biden and Trump administration, as well as how this is going to affect crypto as a whole. So I think pieces like this are really, really important. So let's dive into it. I've seen quite a bit of people requoting this and talking about this. It's basically Coinbase trying to get in front of what appears to be a hit piece. Now, here is one of the hit piece slayers right here. Now, I'm sure, unless you've been living under a rock, you've noticed this whole big push for this progressive push, right? Which basically means that we have to pretend to prop up genders, races, identifications, so on and so forth. And if we don't, and we don't do it in a way that they want us to, then you're going to get canceled, you're going to get fucked, and they're going to try and burn your business down to the ground. Well, we've seen that happening over and over and over again. There's this war going on between the two, right? So if you're like Gillette and you try and bend the knee and do the obey as what they want, then the general public, who's just regular everyday Joes, hate it. And so Coinbase came out maybe a month or so ago and just kind of said, no, actually, we're not going to do this whole bait and switch thing that you guys got going on. We're just going to focus on our company. And so here is the piece. I thought this was down, but I can still read it. So they start off with, in the spirit of transparency, which they write in a lot of their articles, right? And I do believe that overall Coinbase, for as much as we all used to talk shit about it and make fun of it in 2017, 2018, I do believe that they have good intentions. And I do believe that they think that they are acting in a way to protect the financial privacy of their customers, which they do, as you can see here, state quite often. And I do believe that they think that they are doing good work. Whether or not you do, I guess that's all going to depend on opinion and what you believe to be true, right? So the too long didn't read. The New York Times is planning to publish a negative story about Coinbase at some point over the next few days online, and it will appear in print on Sunday. Given the story may be read by your friends, family, professional contacts, we wanted to get everyone's heads up and provide some important context. So basically, it's a gender race hit piece. Wow, nobody saw that coming. So after, what is this, a month after, in October, they made the piece and published a piece about their mission statement, talking about how they weren't going to be playing this game, and they're going to just focus on these key areas. And those key areas were, in fact, really important. I wish I could remember them, and I can't find the piece now, the article. But these are the things that you want a company to focus on. You don't want a company to focus on, do we have enough black people on the board? Do we have enough Asians? Do we have enough women? Focus on the best person, the best qualified person gets the job. The best qualified people, we create that sort of environment. The old school kind of original days of the Google, Apple type of environments that created such a big culture. Right? Those companies themselves created a culture, which is such a huge thing to do. Coinbase has that, and they don't want to get rid of that for whatever this thing is that everyone expects big companies to do now, especially that are out of San Francisco and VCs are involved in, because those are like hot topics for them. VCs all pretend like they give a fuck about this oppression, this discrimination, and they don't at the end of the day. So I'm going to assure you, they don't care. But they will share and retweet stuff that makes it seem like they care all day long. Anyway, Nathan Popper is going to be the hit piece guy. Okay, it's now clear that the story will allege several black employees had negative experiences at Coinbase over the last few years. Although we generally don't alert the company to upcoming negative stories, the exec team and I felt it important to provide a heads up and important context because the story's focus and because it may read to your friends. Yep, okay. Context. The story will likely quote former employees, contractor by name, photos, some of them, blah, blah, blah. They left Q2 2019. The story also relies on information from other current and former employees, including leaked content from Slack, internal company meetings, and documents. The story covers our efforts related to belonging, inclusion, and diversity. Big shocker. I actually started talking about this before I'd fully read this. I was talking about it and about to shoot a video, and I guessed that this is what it was going to be. And it's not too hard to figure this stuff out. When you come out a month ago and say, we're not going to play your game, and you happen to be a San Francisco-based startup, and VCs are involved in your brand, well, then you're going to get a hit piece on you. I guess that's just how it is now. And so positioning this, on our positioning as a mission-focused company, which I thought that was what we wanted. I thought that was what was really important. And, they outlined it well, and all their points were well passed. and the discussions we had within the company this year about Black Lives Matter. However, a significant portion of the story also focuses on major changes to our compliance and CX orgs that took place in 2018. The story will likely imply that black employees were discriminated against during this process. This is false. The story will also likely allege that a number of black employees and contractors referenced in the story filed complaints with the company, probably ignored, it's because I'm black kind of thing. In reality, only 3 of these people filed complaints during this time at Coinbase. All of those complaints were thoroughly investigated, 1 through an internal investigation and 2 by separate third-party investigators, all of whom found no evidence of wrongdoing and concluded the claims were unsubstantiated. We shared this information with the reporter. Overall, we expect the story will paint an inaccurate picture that lacks complete information and context despite our best efforts. So, it's not a horrible thing that they're coming out and trying to get in front of this. We've all seen these now hit. We've all seen these come out, and then the mob gets involved. I don't know if this is like an orchestrated thing or it just organically happens that there's that many people that are just waiting for a story like this and frothing for a story like this so that they can go out and try and crush people and crush businesses. But I commend them on trying to get out in front of this. I don't know if what they're telling us is true right in front of us. Obviously, you don't either. We don't work for the company. We're not privy to this insider information, and we don't really know what the true story is. That being said, the New York Times is fucking garbage, and they've run hit piece after hit piece. They're the ones that ran the Trump tax piece, wasn't it? About a friend who was familiar with the situation, who overheard a conversation and possibly sort of maybe kind of, and then didn't give the full context until like the 3rd paragraph down. So come on, dude. I don't know. I don't know if anyone that trusts the New York Times, but maybe in these circles, right, the VC circles, maybe they do, because everyone that was chiming in on this guy's thread was talking about how it has something to do with Coinbase, has something to hide. Well, these are all these blue check marks are clowns, and so they're all just in here circle jerking each other. So yeah, there's this weird push, and I've been talking about it over and over again, and it's like bled over into crypto, which is such a shame because this is like one of the most diverse cultures. You have a lot of 4chan culture, 8chan culture in here, and punks, degenerates, whatever you want to call them, kind of people involved in crypto, and they don't take too kindly to shit like this. So the crypto community doesn't really play ball with all this gender bullshit and inclusion. What do you want to call it? I don't even know what to call it. They have something new for it. Belonging, inclusion, and diversity. Whatever, dude. Most people in crypto don't fucking play this game, okay? Even though the general public thinks it's real, and all the blue check marks think it's real, most people don't. So anyways, the more important piece, enough of that crap, is the Trump administration may rush out some interesting wallet rules. Now, for all of you that are, MAGA and think that Trump's a good guy or whatever and trying to save the world, maybe he is, but he doesn't really seem to like crypto, okay? And this will be the 2nd time now something significant has happened, right near all-time highs. It's not a coincidence that this drops today, and today the price of Bitcoin starts dropping. So some believe that the news is baked in, some don't. We're all the way down from we went from 19,500, right around all-time highs. We are at 16,700 right now, and it just keeps dropping. So, coincidence, right? But it reminded me of this story right here. Trump administration popped 2017 Bitcoin bubble, ex-CFTC chair says. So, one of the untold stories of the past few years is that CFTC, Treasury, and SEC, okay, there you go, the Treasury and SEC and the National Economic Council director at the time, Gary Cohen, believed that the launch of Bitcoin futures would have impact on popping the Bitcoin bubble, and it worked. For all of those that thought the futures were going to destroy crypto, that had watched it happen in gold and silver, well, you were validated that day. This was published in 2019, but at 2019, this is the first time we had heard that, actually, they decided to pop this and get this done. So the instruments were rushed out in an attempt to tame Bitcoin. And let's never forget the CME's own head saying, we'll tame Bitcoin. Okay, so we have the CME head who launched in December of 2017, and we've got the CFTC chair and everyone else basically confirming the story that they wanted to rush this out to pop Bitcoin's bubble. Well, this is interesting. This strikes me as the same thing, literally the same story, right? I don't know why everyone isn't talking about this. This should be the number one piece being shared, and we should all be, out there talking about this. So here's the big concern. Where is it? Right here. So basically, the whispers are that Steve Mnuchin, who is the Treasury head at this point, is preparing to roll out some regulation as a parting gift on the way out. Okay, if true, the regulation would represent a broadside against the U.S. cryptocurrency industry like few have ever levied by the federal government. It would force corporations to know every counterparty to their users' crypto transactions, keep logs, tracking movements, and verify identities even before the transfer could take place. So we're talking about every single piece of the transaction being fully known and doxed before the transaction can even happen. This is a big long thread from Brian today. So again, I kind of tend to believe this guy. You know, they write in their blog posts all the time that they believe that they're protecting financial privacy of their customers. And here they are letting us know today, the same day that they're kind of getting wind of this, that, hey, this might be coming down the pipe. And all of this hits, and we go from 19,500 to 16,800 in the span of the last 8 hours. So do the math on this. It's eerily similar, okay? Eerily similar. And this is all bad news, pretty much. So it reminds me of some of the stuff you see going on where like governors and states within the United States are kind of making their own mandates and rules and going around the federal system. Well, if they can't shut down Bitcoin and they can't shut down cryptocurrency because it's so big, and you know they're trying to regulate it and make it look good enough so that when they roll out their central bank digital currencies, people will still love it. At the same time, they got to be thinking, okay, well, we need to control this better, because look, I like for the most part, I like the America First mantra, right, from Trump. You got to understand that this guy might be so in deep with that mantra that he wants to destroy every other currency, and he wants to dominate every other currency because of that mantra, because he believes that so deeply. He wants to destroy everything else so that this is the only one to use. So it's not about seizing assets. It's not about seizing value. It's about control. It's about control of the U.S. dollar. You know, a guy like that, when he says America first, he believes it like to the dying breath. So it's not just about like, let's bring back supply chains and blah, blah, blah. It's like, yes, let's destroy everything that is not gonna make America first, right? And Bitcoin is a huge tool that is used right now to subvert trust in the system, trust in the dollar, trust in the stock market, in the monetary system. So I don't know if this is true. I'm just kind of speculating that, you know, that he might believe this so deeply that he's, you know, obviously willing to do something to destroy other assets to make that true. I don't know. I guess time will tell. This overall is a bad thing. So that's what I've got for you today. I didn't want to make this too long. Some interesting stuff happening, but I do commend Coinbase overall, and I've been changing my opinion steadily over this year of Coinbase based on some of these actions I've seen. I definitely think that they have our best. They're more likely to have your best interests at heart than I know I previously thought. So anyways, if you like this, thumbs it up, thumbs it down. If you don't, comment if you got something to say. Subscribe, hit the bell notification. If you want more, there'll be more coming soon. Okay, see ya.